So, Abramo, I've called you here today for another Zoom meeting because today I was reflecting on our chat from yesterday. We were talking about Joe Rogan and his big move to Spotify. But one of the things we touched on was the algorithm, how good the algorithm Spotify is for music. Why are you looking at me like that? Mm-hmm.
Okay, you edit out my face.
We're talking about the algorithm, right? And how Spotify is particularly good at music. Like you prefer Spotify over Apple Music because of the playlists and whatever they put together. And we spoke about how YouTube, the algorithm sometimes is just a bit wacky and it can create these silos in these echo chambers of similar things. And once you're in the YouTube hole, like it's quite hard to get out. Anyway, I started thinking, how amazing would it be if Spotify could continue how good their algorithm is for their other content, right?
Yeah, for sure. It would.
Because I really think that's where YouTube is like not good anymore, right? Because there's so much content uploaded every second, but you don't ever see any new good stuff. It's always the same stuff. If you're searching for something specific, obviously that search functionality is great. But in terms of like suggesting new content, I feel like it's so lacking. And I just started thinking about, wow, if someone could come in and actually nail the algorithm, how amazing. Have you got any thoughts on that?
No, definitely. I think one of Spotify's greatest sort of strengths is that it is a paid service. Whether you can get a free version and you just get served like just whatever ad. And I'm like, I mean, you've had the free version before. Like the ads are they're dumb. They're not. You're not really.
Oh, you know what actually sparked this? I was thinking about how with Netflix and stuff, like you're not supposed to, but people share accounts. It doesn't really matter. If someone's already seen something, it's fairly easy enough to find. They're always pushing the same content. This is what sparked this thought. I was thinking about that, and I was thinking about how I currently have the free Spotify and how it would be much better to have the paid version. Obviously, it's like leaps and bounds ahead. And I was like, it's interesting that we don't share Spotify in the same way that we share pretty much every other service. And I think it's because of the algorithm. Like, you don't want to mess up something that's so good. Like, if you're listening to...
I feel that, well, with Spotify, you can't have two different devices playing something off the same account. So I think that stops it a lot of the time, because like music, it's different than video, as in you might put on Spotify at 8 in the morning and not actually turn it off until midnight. So there's less opportunity for someone
you can't play different things at the same time.
Yeah, you can't play different things. Yeah. So like,
because I know like if you can link up your phone and your laptop, whatever.
That's all. Yeah, but like if you had my account open and I had my account open, we both tried to play a song. Only one would play. Whereas like I actually had this conversation with someone a while ago about, she was talking about how a couple of her exes have her Netflix login, and she's like, it doesn't matter. Like Netflix is such a trivial fee. It's like $10 a month. And she's like, she doesn't care that they have access to it, but she does care if they don't set up a separate account.
Yeah.
Because it throws off your algorithm. Like it throws off all your hard work on that.
I don't think it matters so much with Netflix. Like maybe I'm not a power user of Netflix enough.
I think Netflix's algorithm is like, it takes a lot of work. It's like if like a 5-year-old gets in your account and watches like 3 episodes of Thomas the Tank Engine, you're not going to get slammed with kids programming. Like all of your suggested aren't the next day going to be like, hey, watch all these Thomas the Tank Engines. But if you have someone in there who consistently watches stuff that you would never watch over like a 3-month period, it would throw it off. Whereas I feel like Spotify, you can get thrown off fairly easily.
It's a bit more easy. But I think Spotify, I mean, it like that's essentially all the music in the world. Whereas Netflix is like a select amount of the movies that exist. Like, I just don't think it's as, they're very like, watch our Netflix thing. This is what's new. This is what's trending. Like, I don't really think it's as tailored, the experience.
No, definitely isn't. And I think one of the good things, like I found so much music on Spotify that I never would have found just by letting it play out. Like it's really good that it'll, and I think it's past this critical mass of users that it's like, well, this person listens to like Led Zeppelin and like Jethro Tull and really liked Pink Floyd, for instance. And you may have only heard of one of those bands. You may just be listening to Pink Floyd and it'll throw up something that you wouldn't have found. Because I think music is a lot harder to actually search for. You know, it's that whole thing with like everyone wants a Shazam where you can hum a song into it and it'll find it for you. Like it's unless you're really into, and like I can give you all these genres and all these bands that I really love. And I mean, I was listening to like a band I really love called Ozric's Tentacles. Really, like, for the most part, an obscure kind of like bit popular psych band from the 80s in the UK. And the other day, I got to the end of an album and it auto played a bunch of songs, and I was like, I've never heard of these bands before, and they're so good. Like I'm not locked into that. I have to listen to the one band because this is the only band that has the sound that I like. Spotify is really good at being like, well, actually, you might like this, and if you're actually on top of it and you start going like, oh, I don't like this song, as it pops up through your feed, it knows it, like that algorithm. It's brilliant, and that might happen with video. I feel like video is more inclined to have a weird algorithm like that. But like music, there's no agenda to music.
Yeah, but why doesn't that translate to other content? Like, I would love for YouTube to throw me up a playlist of just like, here's 10 videos that based on this one. I mean, I guess they do that on the Explore page or whatever.
It really
give me my something. Like I think what's nice about Spotify is they do like those 5 or whatever daily mixes. This one's a bit like this one if I'm feeling a bit funky, this one because they know I listened to that Shania Twain album last week, so maybe I want some of those throwbacks. Like if there was a video or a podcast or whatever service that was like, hey, based on your last 3 months of history, we reckon today you might like these things.
Yeah.
Like, no one's doing that well.
My
I guess that's what I'm getting at.
Oh, no, definitely. My feeling with YouTube is they're really wanting it to be a incredibly child-friendly platform. To me, it's like designed for children, like to keep kids there more than anything, because you can literally, it'll just keep on feeding you, and like
I agree.
Are like little crack addicts for content. It's just like, oh yeah, more. I'll click, I'll watch it, and it doesn't matter how bad the content is. That's why they had the whole like Elsa Gate thing.
Yeah, for sure.
It really, like, it didn't matter how bad the content was. It just mattered that people were watching it.
Yeah, it just kept being watched. Yeah, you're right.
But there's a big difference between like a 5-year-old watching a bunch of toy unboxings and someone going down like the rabbit hole of increasingly disturbing conspiracy videos.
I'm just so interested in what this is going to look like. Because even like video on Spotify aside, like say it remains audio, I would love for someone to know that what I like and be like, here's another one of a similar quality but slightly different. In case you're in the mood for this thing. Because how do you find out about good podcasts? It's word of mouth.
Yeah.
That's it.
I don't actually know how the Spotify algorithm works, because like YouTube, obviously it's all to do with tagging.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm
like
fascinated by this.
You tag, but like, do you tag? And I don't know the process of uploading a song to Spotify. I think there's a genre tag in it. I would assume that would run somehow like the old Apple ID3 tagging, which is pretty simple. It's just like date, artist name, song name, album name, genre. Which is
probably like beats per minute.
Yeah, there's probably a few other things. I just wonder if it's sort of like Shazam, and it analyzes.
Yeah, I wonder.
Finds things similar, or maybe it might, if you've got that amount of data, there's lots of ways to cut it.
Totally. And then I wonder if because there are so many user-generated playlists that it somehow there's computer learning there.
Oh, definitely. And it's got. I remember using Spotify when it first came out, and it wasn't that good. Like, it really wasn't particularly good at suggesting things. It was more expensive to be premium, so no one did. And like the quality, like the audio quality that you would stream was really terrible. And now it's like, it's pretty high. It's not as good as something like Tidal, but it's pretty good. So you're streaming high quality, and you just always, it's just hit after hit.
Yeah.
Just the daily playlists are so good. So many times I've just gone on it, because I think about half of it is stuff that it knows that you've liked and that you've listened to.
Yeah.
And the other half, it's like a wild ride of wonder.
Yeah, it's interesting. Anyway, I just wanted to bring that up with you, see what your thoughts were, because I'm fascinated by this shit. Nobody understands me. So if anybody watching is interested in any of this stuff, please do get in touch with me, because I can talk about this shit. I think you could too, Bram.
Way too much.
Yeah.